Hey everybody, it's Dr. David. Been asked a lot this past few days about the Delta variant, and I figured I would share some of the information that I've learned. For those who know, we've been keep on getting these variants. They were being named after the countries that they were first found. Now they're being named based upon the Greek alphabet so that it's not put to a specific location, especially since these variants are being found all over the world. The Delta variant, from what we can tell so far, which first originated in India, is a more contagious form of the COVID virus. There has been a change in the spike protein that's making it more able to stick to tissues, especially of the lung, and infiltrate it so that it can start to replicate and grow within the person's body. We have not seen information that says for sure that it is a more dangerous virus, a version of the COVID virus compared to before. One can assume, at least right now, it's probably the same level of danger in terms of the morbidity, mortality that's been associated with the virus in the first place. It's more the issue of the contagiousness. Certainly there are, most of the people who are being found to have this are people who had not previously had COVID and who had not been given and or taken COVID vaccines and been fully vaccinated, because of course those people have good levels of protection. And from everything that we see, all the data that's coming in, whether a person's had COVID in the past or whether a person has had the vaccine, there is a pretty similar level of protection that is being offered by the immune system from that past exposure. Yes, there has been some questions as to, is the immunity fading over time? I know that the Pfizer company is claiming this. I know that the CDC is saying not so fast. You're not the ones who are going to make a decision. If there is any kind of booster that's discussed with the vaccine, the CDC is saying that there is none needed for that matter at this point. But the real issue is that the way that I'm looking at this is either you're immune already, or you have a much higher increased chance of catching the Delta variant now because of the fact that it's more contagious. Certainly anything in terms of long hauler disease, we would be more expecting to see. Be interesting to see how hospitalizations and God forbid deaths will happen, because of the fact that, of course, people are treating it more, recognizing it as well. So overall, we're seeing those numbers going down. But overall, that's kind of what we're seeing. So, there's still a lot to be learned about it, but at the same time, there's a lot known based upon how we can infer how all the other variants went. But basically, in the long run, if you're not immune already, there's an increased chance of you catching this virus, and especially with kids going back to school in the next several weeks here in Florida, and especially if there's going to be mask optional, and especially with them doing 3 feet instead of 6 feet for physical distancing, I think it is pretty fair to assume that we're going to see a lot more pediatric infection for COVID. Now, of course, we know that children almost always don't get the same level of sickness as adults do, especially seniors and immunocompromised and medically fragile people. But of course, there's always the potential that kids catching it can bring it home to people who are still susceptible to disease. So I hope that gave some information to you. This is a certainly evolving story. Certainly, I'll keep updating everybody as we go, but I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.